Hello, my charmed ones. Welcome back to my channel for another video. And if you're new around here, I just want to say hello. My name is Alexis, but I'm also known as MissTrenchcoat all across the internet. I'm an online entrepreneur who designs and creates digital content and products to help you work smarter, not harder. If that sounds interesting to you, all of my links are down below, and you can go ahead and download my latest free productivity tools over at thecharmedshop.com. So today's video is going to be an inside my planner walkthrough of the way I have my binder set up for functional planning, productivity, and time management. If that sounds interesting to you, stay tuned because we're about to jump right in. Okay, so this beauty here is the current binder system that is housing my planner. Before we get into this, there's two things I want to address. Number one, if you've been following me for some time, you may remember that last year, I created this Charmed Life planner, which was a hardbound spiral planner that houses my Charmed Life planner inserts and my entire planning system. I did a DIY video on how to make your own spiral planner if you guys haven't seen it and are interested. But this was the planner that I actually used from January to June of this year. But during that period of time, I began to feel that this spiral binding was just not going to cut it for me because I had been used to so much flexibility and customization that planners like Filofaxes and KikiKs and Discbound planners give you. So although I used this day in and day out because the planner and the actual, the inserts, right, and the system was working for me, right, and it still works for me, and this was a system that I've actually been using for over a year now, this binding system with the spiral was just not working for me. So I decided that I needed to set up my system again in just a different binder. So I want to make sure you guys don't get too caught up with the actual binding. I realize it's like I've changed planners, but I really haven't because the inserts that I'm using and the way I'm using them are still the same. And you're going to see that as we do a walkthrough. So I will link the walkthrough of this planner if you've never seen it, if you would like to compare. The second thing that I want to address is, I'm sure some of you are going to ask, Alexis, what about your 43 folders binder? Here it is. I still use it, this beautiful black Filofax original that houses my 43 folder system. But this is actually not part of my planning system. This is purely a desktop filing system for me. So we're not going to walk through this today, and it hasn't gone anywhere. I'm still using it and loving it. And I will link the setup video to show you guys how I put this together and the way the 43 folder system works. I'll leave that link down below if you're curious. So this actual binder cover that you're seeing here is what's known as a compendium or a notebook cover. And this one comes from GG New York. It's their larger of their two sizes that they actually make in this line. And you can see that this is actually like a black faux python effect, like that's been embossed on this. And I just think it's so beautiful and sparkly. And I love the simplicity of the black. And it just doesn't have too much going on. It really just blends in anywhere. And I just love the way that this looks, and I'm always drawn to it, which is why I feel like I've put my planner system into this right now. So when you open this up, what you see here on the left is this target file folder that I have used my DIY file folder method to turn into like a planner pocket for the front of this system. So I have some extra places to kind of store things and organize little extras for my planner. So here on the left side, I just have some printouts of my sticker designs. These are for sale in my shop if you're interested. And what I do is I finagle them and I cut them with a silhouette so that I can actually peel them instead of having to cut them out individually. On the other side here, I just have a few like notebook sort of like sticky notes and things like that and labels on the other side just to help me if I need to like add notes or anything like that to a page or whatnot. Then we actually get to the planner itself, and you guys will probably be familiar with the system already because it's a system that I keep going back to. This is actually a disc-bound system. So what I have here, this black cover here, and it's the front and back cover, and you can see here it says ARC. This is a junior size ARC Discbound Notebook. And all I did is took the guts out and replaced it with my planner system because I really like systems that give me the flexibility to add and remove pages at will. And that's why I feel like I kind of got bored with / didn't really enjoy as much that spiral planner that I was using for the first half of the year. So one of the reasons that I absolutely love Discbound is, like I said, the customization for it. So you're actually able to remove pages and add them back in very easily. So that means that I can add anything I want to this planner and remove it at will. The other thing I really love about this is because these discs are kind of spiral-like, you can actually flip this over on itself. So if I just wanted to pull this out and just take this with me or do some planning and forget about this cover, I could do that. Or if I'm taking a whole bunch of notes in here and it's, your hand's getting cramped, it's a little bit weird maybe to write in here, I can pull it out easily, flip it over, and it's very convenient to have the ability to flip pages over on itself. I think it's super amazing. And that's why I really feel like I keep coming back to this Discbound system. You guys will already remember that I have done a few videos on Discbound already. My very first planner video from the beginning of 2013, I hauled a Discbound Martha Stewart, which these rings are actually from the Martha Stewart for Avery line at Staples, and they are like a polished silver aluminum disc. So I just keep coming back to this Discbound because I feel like it's the best of both worlds. It's the customization you get from like a Filofax binder that you'd be able to add and remove pages, but it's also that sort of compactness and the utility of a spiral planner. So the last thing I want to bring up before we get into the contents of this and how it's set up is these tabs on the side, because you guys are going to see these as we go through the planner. These are a set of customizable planner and notebook labels that I sell in my shop. And essentially it's a set with like dated labels and some other like popular, sections that you might, or categories that you might have in your planner, as well as the option to like customize some if you want to change the specific names or create like your own section in your planner or in a notebook to like a custom name. It gives you the ability to do that. And basically all you do is download the PDF from my shop, customize it as you want, print it out onto sticker label paper, and then cut it out and put it in. So I will leave these linked down below if you are interested in those as we go through this. Now, let's get to the actual guts of the planner portion of this binder. The first page you see here is my monthly dashboard for September. I give these away for free every month. It just has a month at a glance here, important dates, monthly goals, and a reading list. I always like to keep that at the front of my planner. Next is my online business brain dump incompletions trigger list. This is a free download from my shop as well that basically kind of outlines the things that I will focus on when I'm doing like a brain dump focused for my business. I think it's very useful. And I know a couple of you guys have already downloaded it and told me that you love it, which is wonderful. And I'll leave that link down below. And then we come to my self-care September checklist. Every month, again, I do one of these free monthly to-do lists that kind of just have some fun or interesting or productive tasks that you can add to your daily planning if you're interested, and check them off as you go. As you can see, I've checked off quite a few on this list. Then we come to my Charm GTD QuickStart guide. Some of you guys may already have this. If you don't, I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit later in this video about how you guys can get it again if you missed it the first time around. But essentially, this is a short guide to functional planning and productivity inspiration that I just like to keep at the beginning of my planner when I'm kind of like getting stuck. Then we come to my Charmed Life Planner inserts. And this is the like ownership plate page. And you can see I've actually just kind of blocked off my personal information. But I am very pleased to announce for those of you who have been waiting, and I know that many of you have sent me emails and messages asking me when the update for this planner was going to be available. And guess what? The 2017 Charmed Life Planner in both this A5/half letter size and the personal size version are up on my shop. And I want to talk to you guys for a little bit at the end of this walkthrough about some different updates with this planner if you're interested, and as well how you can get that Charmed GTD QuickStart guide if you're interested. So I'm gonna insert like a cutaway clip after we go through this walkthrough so we don't take up any more time in this section. But yes, it is ready for you if you want to go ahead and go and purchase and download and set up your new planner for 2017. So this is just a quote page, like almost like a divider page before we get into the spreads of the Charmed Life Planner. So in order to show you this, I actually want to flip first to a blank spread and then walk you through what it looks like and then how I use it. So this is the first spread in the Charmed Life Planner. It is a month on 2 pages. Things to note about this that's a little bit different than maybe some other, month on 2 pages is it starts on a Monday and ends on a Sunday. I know for some monthly planners, they start on Sunday, end on Saturday. But I find that in the planner community, and for me specifically, I don't like to split up my weekends. So I keep it so Saturday, Sunday are together, and this layout remains consistent for my weekly layouts as well. It starts on a Monday, ends on a Sunday. So none of this like split weekend stuff. Then here on the left side, we've got an area for notes, and down at the bottom, an area for you to just list out your monthly goals. So pretty simple, straightforward. When it comes to these sorts of like A5 or half letter month on 2 pages inserts, they don't always have like the biggest boxes. It's like you don't have much room to work with, but I do find that this is enough space for me to just list out like 1 or 2 things for each day. Or I've seen people get really creative with their month on 2 pages spread and use like color coding dots or like stickers so that they can actually put like a whole bunch of scheduled items into their days. But for me, that's not the way I use it. Let me actually really quickly show you how I use my month on 2 pages so you guys can get a sense if you've never seen this before. This is my August spread, and I primarily use this monthly planner as my editorial calendar. So my blog posts and my videos get laid out here. I'll also put things that are just sort of like monthly events that happen. So down here, I put a note about giving my dog their his flea and tick and heartworm pills, so I can keep track of that. If I had a doctor's appointment or an event, I would also put that in the monthly spread. For my notes, what I tend to do is when I'm approaching the month and looking at the work that I'm planning to get done in the coming month, I will actually break down individual tasks down here on the note section. And what I try to do is write them next to the row for the week that I want to complete them. And that helps me to allocate my work. But obviously very flexible. There's many ways that you could use this in different ways. So after the month on 2 pages spread comes the master monthly task list, as well as an expense tracker. So for every month, you get one of these dedicated pages. Master monthly task list is really just where I put any items that I am hoping to get done this month or that are scheduled to be done this month. It's like a running to-do list. And then here's where I track my income and expenses because I am a business owner. I tend to like to keep track of how well my different income streams have done, as well as any expenses that may have popped up this month that are usually what I do is I put anything that's different than maybe reoccurring scheduled monthly tasks, just so that I can keep track of extra things and have them on my radar. So I'm not going to show you guys one of these filled out because it's, more personal information for the expense sheet specifically, but I'm sure you guys, can get a sense of how to use that. Then comes my week on 2 pages vertical layout. So the thing that I always think that makes these inserts, the Charmed Life Planner inserts, a little bit different than any other inserts I've really seen is that they are created specifically to keep productivity and functional planning in mind. So I actually, on every day, have 3 checkboxes where you can put your top 3 items for the day, and that forces you to prioritize your day instead of just making a generic to-do list. You're actually forced to sit down and plan what are the 3 most important actions I have to take or scheduled events that I need to do or get done. Then on the days of the week, Monday through Friday, there is a lined section. And here, what you can use this section for is either create a schedule for yourself if you're someone who has a lot of appointments and you want to get, everything scheduled out, or you can take notes here, or the way I find myself mostly using this is just additional space for additional tasks and to-dos and stickers and things like that. Then at the bottom of each of the weekdays, as well as the weekends, I have a blank open box. And that is perfect for just extra notes, or it's a great place to put functional planning stickers. So I actually have a line of stickers that kind of work with this system that actually fit perfectly in the boxes. And for those of you who are maybe familiar with the Erin Condren or the Mambi planner, the Happy Planner, this space is equivalent to those sort of stickers. So the rest of this planner for each month is just the week on 2 pages until you get to the new month. Then it starts the new month on 2 pages, you know, the master task list, expenses, and then the weeks for that coming month. So something I'm going to show you next is how I actually use my week on 2 pages if you've never seen this. So here's just like a pretty typical week for me. Again, you can see for most of the days of the week, I've put a top 3 in. On the weekends, I tend to not schedule very many things because the weekends are my time off. I realize for some people, having a shared weekend doesn't work, but for others, I know that this is adequate. So this is the way that I plan my week. You can see that down here at the bottom, I will put those functional planning stickers, and I will use, again, this open space to do additional tasks, you know, use sticky notes to kind of break out work or break out ideas. I'll use any of these like little labels that I have for myself that sort of just mark off like an important event or something that I want to remember. And, you know, I don't always fill up all of the area, especially on days like this day. I know it was a very busy day for me. So I knew I was only going to be doing the top 3, and I didn't really have any other things that I needed to write down. So, you know, it's not uncommon for me to have white space left on my week, but that doesn't matter because this is functionality for me. This planner is purely for productivity, time management, and getting things done. So for me, this tends to work very, very well. And I find that I really don't have any issues with space with this planner because of the way that I use my planner is so specific. I don't use this to journal. I don't use this to mark down life events or to scrapbook or anything like that. Yes, occasionally if something really wonderful happens, I will write it down and kind of mark it off so it's kind of highlighted in my week. But usually I don't use this for anything but getting to work and managing my time and my tasks. Okay, so as you can see, I only have July through December, the second half of the year, in my inserts here, but I like to use like 6 months at least to a year in my planner at one time. But the great thing about this Discbound system is I can add and remove pages as needed. So I do have to the end of 2016 here, and then starts the second section of this notebook planner combo. And this is just a divider for my project section. This divider was something that I just designed and printed out and laminated and then, you know, stuck a label on. So this is my project section. This first insert we have here is my project planning matrix. It is where I break down my projects for the year into short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals. After the project planning matrix, I have my project planning pages, and this is where I will take a project and break it out so that I can properly track my project. So this example here is probably not the best example of a project that I would break out because it's sort of an ongoing like business task page that I will just, you know, write down either like, you know, apps or, you know, services I want to try. And I'll keep a list of things that I want to do for like my shop or my business, just sort of one-off things like different pages that I want to change or anything like that, updating functionality for my site, things like that are listed on this specific project planning page. But I'll show you here what a project planning page looks like blank and walk you through it. So I've got an area up here for you to list out the project or the goal, then give a description to it, so what you're trying to achieve, set a due date for it. I have an area for notes for resources, and then an area where you're going to break out those individual action steps for the project. On the back, I've got just a full page of notes. So I can actually go ahead and just list out what I'm working on, and any additional notes I need for tracking or info I need, I will write them here on the back. And sometimes I will need more than one project planning page to cover, you know, the actions of a project. Or sometimes what I end up doing is, you can see I've got these paper clips here. I'll just paper clip extra note pages onto that page that it applies to if I take notes additionally and I just want to have them together. You know, this is not like by any means like the most perfect system. Like I will staple to pages or clip things to pages if need be. And of course, I actually do sell this project planning bundle in my shop, and it comes with this planning matrix, the project planning sheets, and a very unique month on one page overview for you to kind of manage and track your projects. So if that's something that you're looking to add to your planner system, I will leave it linked down below. It comes in a personal file effects size equivalent and a A5/half letter equivalent, as you can see here. So it'll fit into, you know, like a KikiK medium or large planners, and then file effects, personal, or A5, which is great. So continuing on in this planner, the last few sections are just some extra organization task tracking that I like to have. This is a page that I designed that, yes, is for sale on my site, and I will leave it linked down below, where I track my blog posts. And I just have check boxes that sort of help me track my progress with a blog post. So I've got them to say written, edited, images, and scheduled, just for me to keep track of those. I also have one for my YouTube videos that I actually don't have filled out, because if some of you may remember, this summer I took a little hiatus from YouTube while I was moving, and I did some like brainstorming and revamping of the direction I want my channel to go in, and I haven't actually moved the YouTube video ideas onto this page from my notebook, but I should probably get on that. And this page says filmed, edited, like cover for the cover image, and uploaded. So if you're someone who does YouTube videos, wants a tracker like this, I'll leave it linked down below. Final tracking page I have here is my task tracker. This is where I kind of keep like one-off things that don't relate to projects or are kind of like someday maybe items. But really how this is meant to be used is, and I'll go to a blank one. This is just like a list of things I need to do for my house. What this is really meant for is you can list out like your tasks for the week. And if it's a reoccurring task, like let's say you want to make your bed, you can check off Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday through Sunday, every day you've done it. And if it's a one-off kind of task that doesn't have like a schedule for it, you can mark it down and then just mark off whatever day you accomplished it. So that is another download in my site that comes in personal or this A5 size equivalent, and I'll leave it linked down below. Final thing in the back here is just these sort of tearaway pages for Discbound that come from the Martha Stewart for Avery line. And I just use these for like grocery lists or just notes. It's just nice to have a few in here, and then I can actually mark a page in my planner with it as well as necessary. And that is the guts of my planner, time management system, calendar, agenda, whatever you want to call it. Now, in the back of this binder, I also have a notebook because I like to keep my notes with my planner. Now, this notebook is actually one that I've designed, and I actually sell over on my Redbubble account, where you guys can actually get like physical merchandise for me as opposed to my shop that sells all digital. And I will leave this linked down below if you're interested. And I also have a new design up on the Redbubble shop, which is really cute. This is the one that matches my iPhone case. If you guys have been eyeing my iPhone case, you can get it at the same Redbubble shop online. And this is just a beautiful like design, like some of my favorite like planning things, just very motivating for me. Now, I've been asked to address how I use this notebook in addition to my planner. So specifically, this notebook is for any notes, brainstorms, brain dumps, or meetings that I have for me to actually have plenty of room to take notes. My planner, like I said, I can keep this very compact because I use it for very specific task management and time management reasons. But this is really where I will go into depth into topics and really work out ideas. And specifically, if it's something like notes that I know I want to keep with me, I will write it in this notebook. So there's a lot of personal information, not just about my business in here, but about other people that I work with. So I've just marked out just a few places to kind of give you an idea of how I use this notebook. This page here is just a set of notes that I wrote to create like a course checklist for my empire building program. You can see I just, make notes like normal, pretty standard. And this here is some notes from a meeting that I had with Lauren, or if you guys remember, Lauren with Love is her handle. She and I did a Charmed Biz chat together earlier this year, and we had a Skype meeting about it and took notes. So that's something else that would be in here. And then here is a outline for a YouTube video I recently did, the how I'm prepping for fall. And I just kind of wrote out what I was thinking. Now, I actually put a note in here so I wouldn't forget to say that normally I use a disposable like notebook system for my YouTube video outlines, or I write them on my computer. But sometimes I will break them out in here, specifically if I feel like I need to reference them again. Because this prepping for fall video, if you remember, was the first video I did in August, I think. And then the rest of the videos that month were related to it. So it was just important for me to have all that together. So that's essentially how I use this notebook. In the back of here, there's this pocket that I don't really use. And then I've got this extra pouch that I've actually cut out of an old pouch. You can see I just cut it out and put it into this one, so that I can always use it. And this just stores some extra goodies. And I also have a pen loop. I get these off Amazon. I will go ahead and link them down below if you're interested in a pen loop. So that is my entire planner, notebook, planning, binder system, whatever you'd like to call it.
Now let's quickly discuss the 2017 update to the Charmed Life Planner. In terms of the personal size planner, nothing has changed. However, with the A5/half letter size shown in today's video, when you purchase the 2017 update, you will now receive 3 planner files. First is the standard design, same as before. Second is the new true A5 size that prints on A4 paper, so that those of you outside of the US who use A4 as their standard will now be able to properly print the planner in proper dimensions. Third is the new US half letter bordered option. For those of you who have printers that do not print with the borderless option and may have experienced some issues with printing this planner due to that fact. I hope these changes will help more of you have an easier time printing the planner at home. But of course, not all printers are created equal. And if you do have trouble, you can always take the file to Staples or a local printer to have them print it properly for you. I'm also running a limited time offer on the 2017 planner that includes some bonuses. First is that Charm GTD QuickStart guide that we discussed earlier, and the second is an exclusive print that you can use as a printable wall art or as a dashboard in your planner. Finally, I do have a new functional planning bundle up in the shop where you can get the Charmed Life Planner in your choice of A5 half letter or personal size, as well as my project planning sheets and my task lists, all shown in this video. So I hope you're as excited as I am about this update. I do take all of your feedback into consideration and strive to create digital downloads that are as easy to use as possible so that you get the full value that printables bring to the table.
Okay, so that was my updated planner setup. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I said it a million times, but there's going to be 1,000 links down below in the description box if you are interested in anything that I mentioned in the video. Of course, if you have any questions or would like to share some details about your current planner setup, feel free to do so down in the comments. And if you are not yet subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button for more awesome videos by me. And until next time, bye-bye.